Welcome back to another episode of Along the Rock, brought to you by the Radar Free Press. I'm your host, Emma Watts, and today I am with Kayla Tenboer-Sipes, who is also, shameless plug, the co-host of our new series, Cash and Coffee. But she's not here to talk about that today. Today we're here to talk about your newest and first children's book.
Yes, thanks for having me. I'm so glad
thanks for coming in
today.
Yeah. So can you tell me a little bit about your children's book, from the moment you came up with the idea to now actually having the book in your hand?
It's a long process, 11 years to be exact.
11 years.
11 years, yep. So this is Rocket to the Moon, Art Adventures. The Art Adventures is the series. Right now I have planned 10 books. This originally started actually sitting on my bed in college in St. Augustine, Florida, Flagler College. And I started drawing some characters and thinking of this idea about what if, instead of going out to recess, Violet decides to stay in the art room and wake up her friends with the magical words. And all of her art supplies comes to life. And Ernie the eraser takes something every day from the classroom, and then the crew has to go to wherever Ernie took it, that item. And it always has like a historical base to it. So this first one is Rocket to the Moon. So they're going to the moon, and he took the American flag. So it's like kind of about the moon landing and stuff. So every book has a historical aspect to it. So I first created it 11 years ago in college. And from there, I hired one of my illustrators, one of my illustrator friends from college. I hired him to make some of the characters. And then I wrote scripts for a TV show because I went to college for media production. So I created a 10-episode TV series, and then I realized animation is kind of expensive, and I can't pay someone to animate this series. So year after year went by, and it was always in the back of my head, and I made Peter here. This is a little stuffed animal of Peter, and made him about 6 years ago. And then finally last year, I was like, why don't I just illustrate it and make it into a book series first, and then hopefully one day it will become a TV series. And so I turned that script that I had written for the TV show into a book, a kid's book instead. And it's interactive. The TV show is as well. It's asking the audience to help you solve these problems. So that's what's in the book. There's coloring, there's drawing, there's problem solving. You're helping the crew make it to the moon because Ernie erased the alphabet landing sequence. So you have to fill in the alphabet. So there's the alphabet, there's counting, colors. So that's how it came about. And now 11 years later, I finally was able to use the computer to publish it on my own, Summer Haven Publishing. And now I have it.
That is so exciting. 11 years in the making.
Yeah.
And you're finally here.
I may or may not have cried when I got it in the mail the first time. It was very emotional. It's
that is
still
amazing.
So close to my heart. So.
It's a passion project, a true passion project.
It really is, because it's like these characters came to life in my head, and I was able to turn it into something. And now I've had kids that when they buy it, they come running up to me 10 minutes later. They're like, I read the first 2 pages. I love it. Where are they going next? And I'm like, well, you got to wait until the next book comes out.
That's amazing. So as you mentioned, these are very interactive. Yeah. They involve a lot of critical thinking, problem solving, and art. Yeah. So what makes you think that art is so important for kids? Well, we know art is important for kids. So what's kind of your take on that? Why is art so important? Why'd you write, obviously, Art Adventures?
I think always being creative with everything you do. Being a media production major and editing and media production, you're always having to be creative with ways to think different, think around the box, like just being creative with everything you do in day-to-day life. So keeping art adventures in your life and how to solve problems and use what you have to figure out the problem is always a day-to-day use you're going to use as a kid into adulthood when you go into work. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing with work, and you have to be creative. And so starting that training your brain to think like that as a young kid is going to be important for their future.
Yeah, I was one of those kids where I was always creative. I was always an artsy kid. And then obviously I studied theater and I studied film in college. But yeah, it's just creative thinking. And being thrown a problem and being able to have that opportunity to go, we're not going to do it this way, we're going to do it this way instead, and not getting caught up and frustrated because you couldn't take that one path.
And everyone has different strengths. So, you know, for some people, maybe that's their strength. But for me, I'm like, I'm going the creative route, and I'm going to solve this problem by just turning the corner a little bit and throwing in a different, so it's really good to be creative, I think.
Yeah, and this book is a perfect way to encourage that in kids.
Yeah.
So speaking of kids, you mentioned that there's a lot of kids who always run up to you with the book. And so say one day later down the line, these same kids who read your book wants to write their own book. What advice would you give them in order to do so?
Don't give up. Like, it took me 11 years to make this happen. Don't give up. It is worth it. Do research. I had to do so much research. It was late nights till midnight, 2 a.m., just Googling and watching YouTube videos and looking at forums online to figure out how to publish, how to create the illustrations, how to format them properly, who to publish them with, who to print them with, and how much to charge for them. There's so many different things that go into publishing, and asking others for advice. So if anyone wants to publish a book, reach out to me. I would love to help you figure it out, and I can give you the next steps. I've actually written some articles of how not to write a book because I made so many mistakes while writing my book. I'm like, I bet I could help some other people not make those mistakes. So I wrote a little article about it.
That's awesome. I know that's one of the defining principles for kind of, I guess, anytime I do anything creative, my philosophy is don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yes,
always. It's such a hard thing to do sometimes, especially when you're in a creative field.
Yeah.
But it's one of the most important things.
It keeps you humble and realizing that, I'm not the best at it. Like, I hired another author to help me do it, and I took some boot camps online, and I paid a little money to do that, but I learned so much from it, and because of that, I have 2 books out right now, and there's more coming. So it's just being humbled and realizing, you can learn from other people.
That's awesome. Yeah. So you just hinted towards my next question. So I know before we began recording, we were talking a little bit about the future of your Art Adventures series. So what can you tell us about the next couple of books in the series and possibly when they may be available?
Yes.
If you know.
So the next one is going to be Journey to King Tut's Tomb. And there's a little coloring page in the back of the book that the kids can color until the new book comes out, which the goal is next year.
Awesome.
By the end of October next year. So yeah, that'll be something to look for.
That's exciting. In a similar format, very interactive, problem solving.
Yep, Ernie is he's a little naughty, and he needs to not take stuff, so that's naughty. But next time he is going to take something off the teacher's desk and bring it to King Tut's tomb. So we have to go get that back from the desert.
Yes. So
from the pyramids.
So many adventures are still left to tell.
Yep.
So exciting. So if people are watching this video right now and are interested in buying this book for themselves, because you can be young at heart to read this also.
I have so many. It was actually really great. One of my friends bought it, and I was like, who do you want me to, because I'll write the kid's name in it, and then a little message, and then sign the book. And I was like, who do you want me to write? Whose name? And she's like, no, this is for me. She's like, I want people to know when they come to my house, I knew that girl before she was famous. I knew her. She came over to my house when she was in high school, and she's like, no, that's my book.
That's awesome.
So you can go to my website, KaylaTenboer-Sipes.com, and order my books there.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then I'm also doing some author readings as well coming up. My next opening is in March. So any parents or teachers that want me to come to the classroom or the library to do an author reading, reach out to your PTO and have them contact me, and we'll get that set up. And I also do at author readings, I have little crafts to do at all the author readings, and then I give out little bookmarks as well at my author readings. And then I bring my nice sign here so all the kids can get pictures with Peter and all the characters at the classroom.
Yeah, and we saw firsthand that the craft is very, very enjoyable.
It's very fun.
Enjoyable, very fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kayla, for coming in to talk about your new children's book.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. I'd also like to thank our production crew for always helping very hard behind the scenes. Don't forget that the Radar Free Press is free, so be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you want to see more videos like this, check out theradar.online.